Just a little bit more, Max, and you'll be as good as new. There you go. Now let's hear how you sound. Great.
That takes care of the adverbs. Now all we have left to do is the prepositions. Do you think we should memorize the whole list?
Well, the way I always remember prepositions is that it can go anywhere a gerbil can go. Look. You see, he can go over and under, between, beside, through, and in and out.
And so, my fellow students, a vote for Michael O'Halloran is a vote for a thinking man.
I need a stronger ending. Gotta get across the idea that I'm gonna work for them. Use my brain power, not my muscle power.
Smooth flight? Well, what's wrong, hon?
I got this letter today. It's something I was afraid might happen, but I hoped it wouldn't happen so soon. Maybe it doesn't mean anything.
It was fun studying together.
Anyway.
Okay, see you tomorrow, and then we can do it again.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Tish.
See you later.
Well, what happened?
There's been a layoff. Half pay will continue for a month, and then unemployment, I guess. Or until they call them back.
Oh, John, that's terrible. But how could they, after so many years?
What do you want? What do you want?
I heard Mom and Dad talking. I think Dad's been fired from his job.
Come on.
Shh, not so loud. Listen.
Well, there must be something else to do. Something that's interesting.
Oh, I suppose there's always something else to do. But what? It's just such a bad time. There are a lot of unemployed people out there.
See, I told you he's been fired.
He has, but what happened?
Shh, listen.
The way I see it, the real problem is finding a new career that's interesting.
Do you have any ideas?
Let me think. You know, I've been at my job so long, I just don't have a clue as to what's happening.
I guess we'll just have to look around.
Doesn't sound very promising, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Come on, let's go tell Mike.
And so, fellow students, a vote for Michael O'Halloran is... Hey, would you get out of here? Can't you see I'm busy? I'm working on my speech.
It can wait. We've got some important talking to do.
About what?
About the fact that we've just overheard Mom and Dad
Oh,
talking in the den.
eavesdropping again, huh?
Dad's been fired. He's lost his job.
What?
It's true. I accidentally overheard Mom and Dad talking. He said that there had been a layoff and only half pay for a month. And then, well, ask her. She heard it too.
It's true. It really is. He said that there's been a lot of unemployment lately.
Oh, brother. Well, how did he sound?
He sounded worried. He sounded really worried about being able to find a new career.
One of the last things he said before we left was that he didn't have a clue what to do.
What a mess. You know what this means, don't you?
It means bad news for everyone.
What are we going to do?
Well, we could go to an employment agency and find him a job.
I'm sure we can go out and get a job for our poor out-of-work father.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't work, would it?
What if we made up a list of jobs for Dad? things that he could do and might be interested in. Then we could give him the list and he'd have an idea what to do.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But where do we start? There are a lot of possibilities.
Well, we could start with what he does now, or did now. Flying a plane. He works with the thing. There's got to be lots of jobs dealing with things.
How about driving a car or a truck?
Or a motorcycle. Or fixing them. Being a mechanic.
I'll start writing these down.
How about making things?
Sure, manufacturing. Lots of jobs there.
On an assembly line.
Or in construction, like road construction.
Or building construction.
Or working in a department store.
Yeah, but there he's working with people more than he is machines and things.
So make it a new category. People jobs.
Airline stewardess.
Dodo, don't get carried away with this. He just got dumped by the airline.
Okay, then put down teacher instead. He'd be good at that.
Door-to-door encyclopedia salesman.
Any kind of sales work.
A doctor.
Social work.
A job in personnel work. Public relations.
Advertising.
Advertising, but that's working with ideas more than it is with people. You know, like making up campaigns and slogans.
Okay, new category. Ideas. First, advertising, and second, scientific research.
Writing plays and books.
Computer technology.
But that's working with things again.
It's also working with ideas.
Hold it. Some of these categories are going to overlap, okay? Like being a politician. That can be both working with ideas and with people.
Okay, let's quit for now. We'll all break it up into 3 different categories. I'll take jobs dealing with things. Margot, you take people jobs, and Mike, you take idea jobs.
Okay.
Narrow it down to things that Dad might be interested in doing.
And able to do.
Now remember, not a word of this to Dad. He'll tell us when he thinks the time is right.
Okay.
Oh, when do we give the list to Dad?
When the time is right. Advertising. Politics. Maybe that. But he'd have to get himself elected. That's too risky. Research. Yeah, research. If I remember, he had a chemistry background in school.
After years of research, a cure for the common cold. It works. It really works.
Working with things. What kind of job would Dad be good at working with things? If I had to look for work, I'd try to do something driving a motorcycle. Maybe a test driver.
So that's the story, Shandy. What kind of work do you think Dad could do? Not talking, huh? Shandy, what do you think about Dad being a teacher? I bet he'd be great working with the students. Especially at some famous university.
Good afternoon, Professor O'Halloran.
Good afternoon, Alex. How are you?
I really enjoyed your lecture this afternoon, sir. It was so human, so real.
Well, thank you very much, Linda. You'll enjoy the next class, too, I'm sure. Come on, honey.
His daughter was the one who got him interested in teaching after he lost his other job.
Good for her. He really is an excellent teacher.
So good with people.
Jobs working with people.
Jobs working with things.
Jobs working with ideas.
Well, what a surprise.
How are you feeling, Dad?
I feel fine.
Good. You're looking good, too.
Thank you very much.
Dad?
Yes?
Dad?
Yes?
Are you sure there's nothing worrying you? I mean, something you might want to tell us about?
Well, now that you mention it, there are a few things bothering me. Nothing that you kids have to worry about.
Dad, if you ever happen, now only if you ever happen to lose your job, do you think you might be interested in working with things?
Things, some things,
How about working with motorcycles? Like being a test driver?
some things. Not motorcycles. I've never really been quite sure of myself on a motorcycle. That's more in your line than mine.
Well, did you ever think about working with ideas, like chemical research? You studied that in school, in college, didn't you?
Well, sort of. I have a minor in chemistry, but I was never very good at it. You know, it's funny. I could never get those chemical symbols quite straight.
I can't understand it. Years of research and I still have my cold.
I was always making terrible mistakes.
Dad, how about...
Now that you kids brought it up, I do have some news. I got a letter at work today from Tom Martin. You know, my friend with the big family on the West Coast. Well, he got laid off his job last week. Doesn't know what he's going to do.
Oh, that's too bad.
Gee, anything we can do to help?
As a matter of fact, I think there is. You see, I don't know what kind of jobs are available, and I was wondering if you kids could help and give me some suggestions.
Well, Dad,
It just so happens.
that we have these lists of jobs.
Working with things.
and ideas.
And people.
Supported by a consortium of 34 educational agencies. This program was produced by WNVT, Northern Virginia Educational Television, under the supervision of AIT, Agency for Instructional Television.